You're a summoner? That's the weakest class in the world. The moment Lin Xiao awakened his class, everyone laughed at him. His rival called him trash. No team wanted him. No one believed he could clear a dungeon. Even a normal combat class was considered better than becoming a summoner. But they had no idea. Lin Xiao had awakened a unique S-tier talent. A talent so powerful that nobody else in the world could ever obtain it. Every single day, he gains a brand new S-rank talent. His first summon was just a tiny skeleton. Weak, pathetic, worthless. But after receiving an S-rank talent, it evolved into a terrifying Death Knight. A monster capable of slaughtering entire armies. Then his slime gained the power of endless evolution through devouring. His goblin became a master of legendary weapons. And that was only the beginning. While other people struggled to make one summon stronger, Lin Xiao gave countless S-rank talents to all of his summons. Every day they evolved. Every day they grew stronger. Every day they became more terrifying. Geniuses? Prodigies? Heroes? None of them could even defeat his weakest summon. Then the abyss descended upon the world. Demon gods appeared. Ancient monsters awakened. Even the gods themselves looked down upon humanity. But when humanity stood on the edge of extinction, one man stepped forward. Behind him stood an army powerful enough to shake heaven and earth. An army of death knights, ancient beasts, divine creatures, and beings powerful enough to rival gods. The world finally realized one terrifying truth. The strongest army was never an army. The strongest kingdom was never a kingdom. It was one summoner, and his summons. This is the story of Lin Xiao, the summoner who turned the weakest class into the strongest existence in the world. Week 1 8-hour video will be uploaded. All novels uploaded here are completed, so you will get a full story without searching or waiting. I have listened to the translated version on web, and there are no major problems with translation. If you want Chinese novel translated, give me the original name of the novel and I will respond to your request as soon as possible. Please make sure your request is on the latest video. If you hear this "u" sound in the novel, it means either question mark or some space is left, like getting materials or experience gained there more but not shown. If after a name is used and after there is silence, it means exclamation marks were used as in shock. I don't know if this will happen in recorded one, but it happened in web version. Chapter 378. Imprisoned in place, Pighead Demon was unable to move an inch and could not even break free of his restraints. After struggling a few times, he gave up. What are you going to do at Abyss Great Canyon? That's none of your business. You just need to tell me where Abyss Great Canyon is. The pig-headed creature remained silent for a long time, seemingly considering whether to reveal its location. After some deliberation, it finally spoke up. Go east from here and you'll see a very high mountain. That's the Abyss Great Canyon. I don't know what you're going there for, but I can tell you, you'd better not go to Abyss Great Canyon. Lin Xiao, that's not something you need to worry about. After obtaining the location of the Abyss Canyon, Lin Xiao dealt with the pig-hand demon and immediately set off. He didn't care whether what the other person said was true or false. He would confirm it when he encountered an abyssal demon or abyss monster along the way. However, in the abyss monsters that can speak human language are just as rare as abyssal demons, so it's uncertain whether we'll ever encounter one. Why hasn't that pig come back yet? Horsehead Demon stood on the high platform, looking in the direction Pighead Demon had just left, and couldn't help but frown. Could he be using the excuse of something happening to go sleep in? Humph, if I find out that's true, I'll kill him and eat him, Horsehead Demon said viciously. Just then, a strange noise came from somewhere, and Horsehead Demon immediately became alert. Who's there? It's me. A blur of motion appeared. It was the pig-hand demon that Lin Xiao had just killed. pig's head. Horsehead Demon was stunned for a moment, then immediately asked, "How did you become like this?" "I'm dead. And the chicken head who was supposed to take over from you is dead too." "What did you say?" Horsehead Demon's expression changed. He didn't know I had this special ability, which is why I was able to escape in this way. The person who killed Chicken Head and me was a human, most likely someone who had just escaped from the cage. His destination was the Abyss Great Canyon. I didn't find out what he was going there for, and it might affect the adults' plans, so... Before Pighead Demon could finish speaking, his afterimage vanished into thin air. After his death, he would survive for a while as a fleeting afterimage, and if all went well, he could even come back to life. However, to prevent Lin Xiao from returning, he delayed for a long time before daring to come back here and deliver the message. But it couldn't be maintained any longer. Before he could finish speaking, he vanished into thin air. Horsehead Demon felt no sadness whatsoever at Pighead Demon's death, but was instead shocked by the news he brought back.
"I'm doomed."
That human escaped from here, and his destination was still Abyss Great Canyon. If the adults find out, I'll tear him to pieces. Horsehead Demon broke out in a cold sweat, pondering what to do. Yes, only Pighead and I know about this. Pighead is dead. As long as I don't say anything, no one will know that the human ran away from here. Horsehead Demon sensed that things could still turn around and that death was not inevitable. Send the message out first. Ma Shumo was about to contact the people over there when he suddenly felt something was wrong. What should I say if they ask where the message came from? I'm not going to say anything more. Anyway, no one will know. But a terrifying scene suddenly flashed through Horsehead Demon's mind, and his body instinctively shuddered. Finally, a decision was made. Master Tiger. Lin Xiao, who was on her way, was unaware that her situation had been discovered by others. After several verifications along the way, it was found that the Pighead Demon was not lying, and the direction he pointed to for Abyss Great Canyon was correct. Is that the Abyss Great Canyon? Lin Xiao saw a mountain peak soaring into the clouds, shrouded in black mist, clearly not a benevolent place. Even knowing the dangers there, Lin Xiao went without hesitation. The last ingredient in the human demon's secret elixir is here. We must obtain it no matter what. Besides being wary of the monsters in Abyss Great Canyon, there's also the possibility that the Archduke of Demons' forces are here. Lin Xiao examined his body, which had been injured by the spatial storm, and found that he had recovered halfway and should be able to continue fighting without any problems. Although Abyss Great Canyon is dangerous, I also have my advantages. I can find the balance flower faster and then leave this place. Netherworld guidance. So he wasn't just wandering around aimlessly like a headless fly. After making preparations, Lin Xiao set off quickly. They rarely encountered abyss monsters along the way, as if they were all wary of this place and dared not approach, which gave Lin Xiao a lot of convenience. As Lin Xiao approached the Grand Canyon, he heard the wind howling like wolves, creating a sense of dread, like the groans of 10,000 ghosts, which sent chills down his spine. I really don't want to stay in this godforsaken place for even a second longer. Lin Xiao shivered as she looked around at her surroundings. It's called a Grand Canyon, but it's not quite the canyon you'd expect. The trees here aren't ordinary trees. They're ghost trees with twisted faces growing on them. Some trees even had skins of unknown creatures hanging from them, swaying in the wind and making eerie sounds as the wind blew through them. In addition, the flowers and plants growing on the ground are also unusual. absorbing nutrients from the corpses to grow, and even strange flowers can be seen growing from unknown skulls. What a strange place. There's probably more to watch out for here than just the abyss monster. Lin Xiao remained vigilant, scanning the area several times with her abyssal eye to ensure there were no abnormalities before daring to proceed further. Crash! A giant plant resembling a trumpet flower suddenly spit out a scarlet sap, in which a pile of bones were soaking, and the flesh and blood had probably been digested by the other party. Less than half a minute after the skeleton hit the ground, Lin Xiao saw a large number of tiny insects emerge from the soil, quickly decomposing the skeleton on the ground and then carrying it away. Then, Lin Xiao noticed that the giant trumpet flower had not closed its leaves and was pointing its large mouth towards her. What, are you treating it like prey? Lin Xiao didn't dodge, but coldly stared at the giant trumpet flower. The giant morning glory seemed intimidated by Lin Xiao's imposing presence, and dared not advance any further, slowly retreating to wait for its next target. Do equilibrium flower seeds really grow in such a place? Lin Xiao expressed serious doubts, but he still produced netherworld guidance. The method used by netherworld guidance is very simple. Just tell it what you need, and it will point you in the right direction, but this only applies to the abyss. Where is the equilibrium flower seed located? As soon as he finished speaking, the netherworld guidance in Lin Xiao's hand immediately reacted. It immediately released itself and hovered in midair, then released a special ripple that scanned the entire abyss Great Canyon. 3 seconds later, netherworld guidance transformed into a beam of light and entered Lin Xiao's body, and the location of the equilibrium flower seed appeared in his mind. It's so detailed. It even shows how many roads there are. It's so convenient. Lin Xiao couldn't help but sigh. There's just one of these things missing. Chapter 379. Somewhere in Abyss Great Canyon. A woman dressed in black and with her face covered suddenly looked up and gazed at the sky. Sir, what has happened? The abyssal demon, who always wore a rat's head, let out a sharp sound. The woman spoke up. Someone used netherworld guidance. Netherworld guidance? Oxhead Demon asked in a deep voice. Could it be that someone came to Abyss Great Canyon looking for something similar to what we are looking for? Could it be that our plan was discovered by the other archdukes of demons, who came specifically to stop us? Rat-headed Demon speculated. How could that be? If they really made a move, we would have noticed immediately. This shouldn't be them. As for their purpose, we don't know. Should I go and take a look? Oxhead Demon looked at the woman. The woman did not reply, but looked away and continued walking. Oxhead Demon immediately understood and broke away from the group. Rat-headed Demon glanced at him but didn't follow. After all, adults always need someone to protect them, even if he didn't need to. At that moment, a figure darted out from the bushes, and the wrathen demon immediately revealed its sharp claws. However, upon seeing who it was, it returned to standby mode. Grown-ups. A tiger-headed demon appeared in front of the woman. The woman stopped and looked over. Horsehead reports. A human suddenly appeared near the Black Plague cage. He killed Chickenhead and Pighead and extracted the location of the Abyss Canyon from them. Considering that it might be related to your plan, I have come to report. Upon hearing this news, the woman stopped in her tracks, her brows furrowing beneath her black veil. Are humans male or female? I don't know, but their strength should be considerable. Otherwise Chickenhead and Pighead wouldn't have failed to send back any information. Because the other party was unaware of the Pighead's abilities, It relayed the message to the horse head in its remnant soul state. Tiger-headed demon reports truthfully. Woman. He's already here and has used netherworld guidance. Netherworld guidance? Tiger-headed demon's expression changed. Could it be that what he's looking for is the same thing as what you're looking for, sir? Then, a fierce glint appeared in his eyes. I'll get rid of him. No need, the cow has already gone. Just follow me. I'll need you later. Yes. Lin Xiao was unaware that she was being targeted. With the help of netherworld guidance, the speed of progress was much faster. However, although netherworld guidance provided directions and locations, the monsters that would be encountered along the way were not listed in the description. Take the swamp in front of us, for example. Ordinary swamps are fine, but the problem is that many fish-shaped abyss monsters lurk in the swamps. Whenever something passes by, these abyss monsters will leap out of the swamp and attack. This is the only way through. We can't go around it. We have no choice but to force our way through. After confirming that there were no other paths, Lin Xiao summoned the Snow Maiden doll. Freeze this place up and don't release the forbidden curse. Snow Maiden doll nodded and released its frost power to cover the area, intending to freeze the entire swamp completely. Ice gradually formed, but soon a series of bang 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 sounds came from below, clearly indicating that Lin Xiao's actions had angered the abyssal monster below. With a loud boom, holes were punched through the ice, and the abyssal monster fish in the swamp leaped out of the ice. Queen of Flowers, who had been waiting on the shore, immediately made her move, shooting out sharp thorny vines that pierced through the abyssal monsters. Snow Maiden doll did not stop reinforcing the thickness of the ice until the abyssal monsters beneath the swamp could no longer break the ice. Master, it's all right. These fish can't break my ice. You can pass through safely. Good. Lin Xiao quickly passed through, then recalled Snow Maiden doll and Queen of Flowers into her summoning space before continuing onward. Death God Knight stood guard by her side. There were other members of the Archduke of Demons in this area, so sending Snow Maiden doll out to fight wasn't a good choice, since casting Forbidden Curse would expose her location. Suddenly, Lin Xiao sensed a powerful aura approaching from his direction. He immediately hid and saw an ox-head demon pass by him not far away. The bull-headed one is in cahoots with those two abyssal demons. Lin Xiao's expression turned slightly serious, which meant they had other purposes for coming here. As long as they don't share the same goals as me, we'll keep to ourselves. But if we do, a murderous glint flashed in Lin Xiao's eyes. If they shared the same goal, eliminating the other party here would undoubtedly be the best option. The problem is that we don't know how many people are here. Killing him first might attract the attention of others, which would be a loss. Let's leave it for now and avoid conflict. If we encounter it, we'll just go around it. Lin Xiao decided it was better to avoid trouble. Killing the other party directly might increase his own risk. Just as he was about to continue on his way, Ox-Head Demon suddenly turned back. He looked around, seemingly searching for something, and after determining a direction, he rushed over there. What is he looking for? Is he looking for me? Do they already know I'm here? How did they find out? Lin Xiao had a bad feeling that the other side knew she had come to Abyss Great Canyon and was sending people to search for her. Instead of thinking about how they discovered their whereabouts, they were thinking about what to do next. Strike first, strike hard. After trying many methods, Lin Xiao finally settled on one thing. They are not outnumbered. I am alone, and I don't know how many people the enemy has. If I don't eliminate their forces first, It will be very troublesome if I encounter a powerful enemy later. So, roar. Just as Lin Xiao was waiting for the other party to turn back, an angry roar came from afar, followed by the sounds of fighting. Oh? He encountered the abyss monster in the canyon. Lin Xiao's eyes lit up, sensing an opportunity, and he immediately rushed towards the direction of the ox-head demon. Before it even got close, a powerful shockwave struck head-on, and the surrounding ghost trees were overturned one after another, while the ox-head demon was fighting against an unknown abyss monster. This abyss monster was as tall as a stone giant, with vines strung together skulls around its waist as its spoils, and it kept punching the ox-head demon that had invaded its territory. Ox-head demon didn't hold back either, responding with brute force in return. If I die at the hands of the monsters in Abyss Great Canyon, they probably won't find out it was me, right? Lin Xiao slowly approached, observing the two about to clash, and immediately ordered Death God Knight to intervene. He didn't need to kill them, just disrupt them. Death God Knight timed his attack perfectly. Just as the ox-head demon made his move, he teleported behind the enemy and slashed out with his scythe. Ox-head demon's expression changed drastically, and he immediately switched from offense to defense. Lin Xiao seized the opportunity and immediately retrieved Death God Knight. Just then, the abyss monster, which resembled a stone giant, suddenly threw a punch. Ox-head demon had no time to defend and was knocked to the ground. Then came a fierce and relentless attack. Chapter 380. Ox-head demon was indeed powerful, able to fight back against his opponent even when at a disadvantage. However, knowing he was no match for his opponent, he quickly left the opponent's territory when he found an opportunity. Which damn human is that? Ox-head demon let out an angry growl. At this moment he was covered in wounds, his scales were cracked, and one of his bull horns had been broken off by his opponent. Don't let me find you, or I'll tear you to pieces. If it weren't for Lin Xiao's sneak attack, even if he wasn't a match for that abyss monster, he could have left safely and wouldn't have ended up like this. Ox-head demon planned to find a place to recuperate and then go back to capture the human once he was fully recovered. As for going back, he had no intention of doing so at all. If others found out about my miserable state, I would definitely lose my position. Just as he was about to leave, a sudden chill ran through his body, and a sense of impending death arose within him. Before he could react, a black scythe was already at his neck. It's that human from before. He hasn't left yet. What are you doing here? Lin Xiao asked coldly. You're asking for it. Ox-head demon immediately launched a counterattack, but Death God Knight was faster, and his scythe instantly severed Ox-head demon's head. When Lin Xiao thought Ox-head demon was dead, he was surprised when his fist came flying straight at him. The unexpected attack caused Lin Xiao to stagger backward, but she was unharmed. A powerful punch swept in, and Ox-head demon launched another attack, its power undiminished. Lin Xiao was shocked that the ox-head demon could still move even after its head was cut off. Death God Knight acted swiftly. The headless ox-head demon became much slower to react, and the scythe of the death god slashed at him several times before he finally collapsed. Successfully defeated ox-head demon, 5 million experience points. Obtained Demon Horn, material, *1, Bull Hide, material, *5, Abyssal Demon Blood, material, *1, finally dead. Did these guys have some special abilities after they died? Lin Xiao couldn't help but become suspicious. It's possible that the chicken head and pig head demons you killed initially possessed different abilities after death, allowing them to learn your whereabouts. Luckily, I was careful. I was waiting outside for you to die before I could leave in peace. I never expected you to be able to escape. Lin Xiao spoke as he carried the corpse of Oxhead Demon. After the attack, he didn't rush to leave, but instead observed the situation inside from the outside. He discovered that Oxhead Demon was extremely powerful. Even when the opponent had the upper hand, he could still fight back and forth and even manage to escape. If you were to confront him head-on, defeating him without using the power of the evil god would come at a considerable cost. Even if we win, we'll expose ourselves, so it's not worth it. Lin Xiao threw the corpse of the demon that had been left behind back into the water. Only after seeing the abyss monster inside begin to feed did Lin Xiao feel relieved and leave to continue searching for the equilibrium flower seed. On the other side, the woman, accompanied by 2 abyssal demons with rat and tiger heads, arrived at a deserted stone door. Open. Yes. Tiger-headed demon stepped forward, placed his hands against the stone door, and roared, causing his muscles to swell instantly, slowly pushing the stone door open. With a rumbling sound from the friction between the stones, the stone gate slowly opened, and a large number of flying abyss monsters poured out of it. Rat-headed demon reacted swiftly, wiping out all the approaching abyss monsters until no more abyss monsters appeared. Then the woman stepped into the blood-soaked ground. At the border, the god of war is stationed here, and not far from him, several special cannons are being test-fired. This is technology that Qin Chuan and his team brought back from the heavenly realm. They studied it for a long time and made special improvements to create these cannons. This improved cannon is much more powerful than the cannons we made before. Of course, it is also very labor-intensive to manufacture, and the materials are very scarce. Wu Jinghuan said from the side. He is the military chief of Eastern Peak and is also in charge of the border situation, so he is naturally here for the new artillery test firing. Seeing the power of the cannon, Nan Wanxing nodded. I heard that the new cannon requires several materials that can only be obtained in the abyss. Yes, but you don't necessarily have to go into the abyss. There's also a chance to obtain it in Abyss Dungeon, Wu Jinghuan said. Just as Nan Wanxing was about to say something, his phone suddenly rang. Huh? It's Tang Laogui. It's rare for him to call me. He's probably calling to thank me. Nan Wanxing was somewhat surprised to see who was calling, but quickly realized what was going on and answered the phone. Old Tang, no need to thank me. Just bring out your treasured wine next time I visit your house. Tang Qingwa didn't joke with Nan Wanxing, but said seriously, Thank you for this. We'll talk about it later. I have something very important to tell you now. Hearing Tang Laogui's serious tone, Nan Wanxing abandoned his joking mood and asked, What is it? Lin Xiao has been taken somewhere by the spatial rift, I don't know. Lin Xiao? A spatial rift? Nan Wanxing was taken aback and quickly asked, What exactly happened? My 2 daughters. Tang Qingwa truthfully relayed the final events of Dungeon to Nan Wanxing. That's how it is. The most urgent thing now is to find Lin Xiao, but the chances of him surviving after falling into the spatial rift are extremely slim. Nan Wanxing took out the jade piece that was used to contact Lin Xiao. The fact that the jade piece was not broken meant that Lin Xiao was still alive, but he did not contact him. Could it be that he was unable to contact Lin Xiao in the abyss? He tried it but found no response. He's not dead yet, he's just been taken to the abyss, Nan Wanxing said. He didn't die? And he went to the abyss. This surprised Tang Qinghua. Do you remember the village of suffering? Is the boss special? We clearly killed him, but for some reason we didn't get the first clear dungeon reward. Afterwards, I went alone and discovered that although I killed the boss, he was not truly dead. Instead, he escaped by opening a dimensional rift through special means. I guess he used the same method to get to the village of suffering. Tang Qinghua, is that so? He didn't dwell on the issue and urged, now that we know Lin Xiao is in the abyss, let's bring him back quickly. With your abilities, you shouldn't have any problem, right? The abyss is extremely dangerous, and Lin Xiao has only just completed class awakening. For him to be alone in the abyss is like a lamb entering a tiger's den. Nan Wanqing sighed. You make it sound so easy. Right now, we only know that we are in the abyss, but we don't know our exact location at all. It would be very dangerous to rush in, and it would directly attract the Archduke of Demons. After what happened last time, I doubt they will swallow this insult. He stormed into the abyss and wreaked havoc, even slaying an archdemon and humiliating the Archduke of Demons. If he were to enter the abyss again, he would surely be besieged by the 3 Archdukes of Hell. Tang Qinghua, then what should we do? Are we just going to leave it to fate? That's an abyss. Nan Wanqing, I received news that a 4th Archduke of Demons has appeared in the abyss, and she has divided up the territory of the 3. And recently, the 4th Archduke of Demons seems to be making other moves. Perhaps I can leak some information to distract them, which would make my actions much easier. Using their contradictions to distract them is a good approach. The only drawback is that this method is not immediately effective, and considering the search time, it's uncertain whether Lin Xiao can hold out until then. You should find somewhere to hide first. Don't wander around. Nan Wanqing stared into the abyss, a sense of fear rising within him unlike anything he had ever felt before. I'm afraid Lin Xiao might have died there. Chapter 381. The road is really difficult to walk on. Lin Xiao was resting against a rock. As he ventured deeper into the abyss Great Canyon, he found it increasingly dangerous, and even though he was now able to deal with some level 70 abyss monsters, he felt somewhat overwhelmed. Forbidden Curse is unusable, large area skills are unusable, and you have to be extremely careful when fighting monsters. Is my level too low? Lin Xiao glanced at her level. At level 63, if I could reach level 70, dealing with abyss monsters of the same level would be a piece of cake. Just as Lin Xiao was resting behind the rocks, she suddenly noticed something and immediately held her breath. A giant python with skulls covering its back crawled by, the skulls colliding with each other and making strange noises, like the wailing of countless dead spirits. It raised its head, looked around, surveyed its territory, and then left after a moment, crawling away to another place. Lin Xiao clung tightly to the rock, not daring to make a sound, as if he had become one with the rock behind him, and only breathed a slight sigh of relief after the giant python left. Isn't this giant python tired? It keeps patrolling back and forth. Lin Xiao couldn't help but make a comment. This was his only route, and he had planned to sneak past the python while it rested, but it seemed to have unlimited energy and kept patrolling. Most importantly, there weren't many trees or other cover to conceal themselves. It was almost entirely flat, and if they went straight through, they would definitely be spotted. If it doesn't rest, then we'll have to kill it. Lin Xiao had made up her mind. He didn't have that much time to wait here for the giant python to rest before he could take action. Although this giant python was level 75 and a bit tough to deal with, there was no other way. 3/4 of an hour later, the giant python returned to the scene and carefully observed its surroundings, not letting any movement escape its notice. After lingering for more than 30 seconds, it left again. "We'll take action next time we come." Lin Xiao had timed it perfectly, preparing to launch a surprise attack on the opponent. Suddenly, a commotion came from a nearby thicket. The giant python darted over like an arrow and opened its blood-red maw to bite. A fierce wind swept in, and a male eagle cried out as it swooped down, stirring up a violent storm. "Is this a territorial dispute? It's like heaven is helping us." Lin Xiao was prepared to cross this area. It would be ideal if someone could help draw the giant python's fire. Bang! The giant python flicked its tail and sprang into the air like a spring, using its body to forcefully block the male eagle in the sky. Not to be outdone, the male eagle spread its wings, revealing countless eyes within them. These eyes transformed into vertical pupils, gazing intently at the giant python. A good opportunity. Lin Xiao seized the opportunity to leave immediately. Just as he was about to leave the python's territory, a tree laden with fresh, ripe fruit caught his attention. It was impossible not to attract Lin Xiao's attention, because apart from this tree, everything around it had been cleared away, leaving only this tree standing in the same spot. Snake heart blood fruit. Almost ripe increases experience by 2% upon consumption. Upon seeing the displayed information, Lin Xiao immediately stopped in her tracks. Fruits that increase experience? They'll be ripe soon. No wonder this giant python kept patrolling back and forth. It was preventing anyone from stealing its fruit. While 2% experience gain may not seem like much, it becomes quite significant at higher levels. Hiss! After being deterred by the other's gaze, the giant python was just about to launch a counterattack when it saw a human stepping into its territory and eyeing its fruit. It immediately let out an angry roar and lunged forward. Lin Xiao quickly dodged, letting Death God Knight take her away from there first. The serpent's blood fruit is not yet ripe, so there's no need to fight the giant python. Just as the giant python was about to give chase, the male eagle in the sky swooped down on the tree with the snake heart blood fruit. The giant python had no choice but to turn around at lightning speed and attack its opponent. Lin Xiao didn't go far away, but hid to the side and waited for the fruit to ripen. He wasn't in a hurry. He wanted to let them fight for a while first. Perhaps the harvest later will include not only fruit, but also roar. A roar came from not far away, and a deep-sea rhinoceros suddenly darted out of the jungle, crashing directly into the giant python, piercing its body and leaving a bloody hole. There are still experts. No need to look at this abyssal rhinoceros. It's also here for the serpent heart blood fruit. Enraged that someone else was eyeing his serpent heart blood fruit, the giant python lashed out with its tail, sending the abyss rhinoceros flying far away. That whipping force is a bit strong. Lin Xiao looked at the abyssal rhinoceros, which was trembling as it stood up. She could see that several of its bones seemed to have been broken. Let's pick up a bargain. Upon seeing this, Lin Xiao immediately ordered Death God Knight to finish him off, successfully defeated the Abyss Rhino, gaining 2.4 million experience. TSK, TSK, TSK. That's a lot of experience, almost level 64. Seeing the rapid increase in experience points, Lin Xiao realized that at the same level, Abyss monsters gave significantly more experience than regular monsters. Just as Lin Xiao was preparing to continue fishing, a sweet fragrance filled the surroundings. The snake heart blood fruit is ripe. The smell immediately caught the attention of the giant python and the male eagle. The two abyss monsters pounced forward, but just then, a thick ice wall blocked their way, causing them to crash right into it. "Sorry, this belongs to me." Lin Xiao quickly went to the tree and picked the fruit from it. Upon being touched, the originally tender red fruit immediately withered, resembling the face of a grotesque, vengeful spirit. Lin Xiao was startled. Could it be that I picked it incorrectly? Snake venom heart fruit, a mutated form of the snake heart blood fruit after being frightened. Consuming it grants a 3% experience gain and a 99% chance to obtain the snake venom heart curse. You were startled just from touching it? But being frightened actually gave me more experience, which is great. Lin Xiao was overjoyed and quickly picked all the fruit from the tree, completely disregarding the so-called venomous snake curse. This is actually a good thing for me. Without using Forbidden Curse, Snow Maiden Doll was unable to stop the two powerful abyss monsters, and the ice wall was quickly breached. Seeing Lin Xiao pick all the fruits, the giant python's eyes blazed with fire, and when it saw that all the snake heart blood fruits had turned into snake venom heart fruits, it roared to the sky in fury. "The serpent heart blood fruit that I've guarded for so long has been ruined by this human in front of me. It must die. They must die." The giant python charged straight at them. When the male eagle saw that the fruit in Lin Xiao's hand had turned into a poisonous fruit, it flew away immediately. It came over to try and snatch it, but when it saw that the fruit had turned into a poisonous one, it immediately lost interest. The enraged python thrashed its body, increasing its speed to the extreme, and in the blink of an eye, it arrived in front of Lin Xiao, its gaping maw swallowing him whole. Slime! Lin Xiao summoned slime and immediately had it unleash Forbidden Curse. The crown on its head glowed, and the 9 forbidden curses stored up were immediately released, blasting towards the giant python's mouth. Boom! Bang! The giant python's body exploded, shattering into countless pieces. Blood rained down on Lin Xiao. Chapter 382. Congratulations on successfully defeating the venomous blood python. Experience gained 3.5 million. The blood rain touched Lin Xiao's skin, making a sizzling sound and emitting wisps of white smoke, and immediately corroded a large area. This blood actually has this much power? Lin Xiao quickly found a place to take shelter from the rain, and then took out her medicine to begin treatment. I glanced at the snake venom heart fruit I had just picked. There were a full 20 of them. If you consume it all, that's 60% of the experience. The abyss may be dangerous, but it's full of good stuff. Lin Xiao immediately started eating. Although the fruit looks quite ugly, making people hesitant to eat it, it still tastes quite sweet. Experience plus 3%. Obtained the serpent venom mantra. Snake venom heart curse. Cannot be dispelled of venomous snake coils around the heart, feeding on its own blood. Once it reaches a certain size, it bursts out of the heart and devours its owner. Wow! This snake venom incantation is pretty ruthless. No wonder that multi-eyed eagle ran away as soon as it saw it. Lin Xiao was amazed. What's more, this thing was actually growing inside her heart, and she couldn't remove it no matter what she wanted to. Heart of Reversal triggered. The snake venom mantra transforms into a snake spirit to nourish the heart. Snake spirit nourishes the heart. Young snake, the spirit snake, gently nourishes the heart, releasing its spiritual energy to nourish its owner, granting plus 1% to attributes and plus 1% to experience. This increases to 10% upon growth. Wow, that's amazing. Upon seeing the effect of Heart of Reversal's transformation into the serpent venom mantra, Lin Xiao's eyes widened. Not only could it increase attributes, but it could also increase experience gain. Most importantly, this thing can actually grow. Lin Xiao sensed her heart and discovered that there was indeed a small thing in one corner of it, but it wouldn't affect her. Wow! This thing is amazing. Lin Xiao started eating right away. The serpent's heart mantra, once converted, will not accumulate. Instead, it will help the serpent's spirit grow. Even after Lin Xiao finished eating all 20 fruits, the snake spirit was still a fledgling snake, not even reaching the juvenile stage. Level 64, 45% experience. Lin Xiao glanced at the experience bar. It wasn't too far from level 65. If she got a few more fruits, reaching level 65 wouldn't be a problem at all. After a short rest, Lin Xiao left the place where she had taken shelter from the rain, and saw that the male eagle had flown back and was eating the snake meat scattered on the ground. It saw Lin Xiao, but instead of running away, it started eating on its own, glancing warily at Lin Xiao as it ate. Lin Xiao naturally noticed it. Since it didn't show any hostility towards him, he would take the initiative to provoke it. After exchanging a single glance, Lin Xiao left. It's still quite a distance to the location of the equilibrium flower seed. On the other side, the woman, along with the rat and tiger heads, entered the stone gate, and therefore did not receive news of the ox-head demon's death. Where am I? Why do I feel scared? Rat-headed demon looked around and felt a chill. He was confident that he was the #1 person under Archdemon, but when he arrived here, he felt a wave of fear, an invisible dread lingering in his heart. Snort! Tiger-headed demon merely gave a cold snort, attempting to dispel the fear within him. The woman walked forward, passing through many gates, and finally came to a stone statue. My lord, be careful. This stone statue has a strong spirit interference. Do not look directly at it. It is even comparable to the lotes in the ocean. Rat-headed demon felt a spirit impact, but he quickly recovered and moved as fast as he could to block his adult from watching. But the next moment, his eyes became vacant, like a walking corpse. His spirit had been plundered. The woman glanced at him, shoved him aside, and then stared directly at the indescribable stone statue before her. Suddenly, her vision blurred and spirit seemed to be taken away. But soon, another force within her awakened her, and then that force surged forth, swallowing up all the invisible spirit force before her. Snap! A moment later, a bead appeared out of thin air and fell down, its bouncing sound particularly jarring in the silent space. The woman regained her senses, and then a deep voice rang out. Well done! I knew I hadn't misjudged you. There's one more place. Go and bring the things back to me. The woman did not respond, but picked up the seemingly glass bead from the ground, which was filled with a chaotic purple gas. They're gone. The woman spoke coldly, her voice carrying a strong, penetrating quality that brought rat-head and tiger-headed demon back to their senses. Cold sweat broke out on the backs of the two, who had no idea what had happened. They were about to ask when they saw that the adult had already left, so they dared not ask any more questions and quickly followed after him. Stepping out of the stone gate, the woman seemed to sense something, looked up at a spot and said, "The bull's head is dead." What? This is impossible. Is that human so powerful that he can even kill a bull? Tiger-headed demon was shocked and incredulous. He died at the edge of Extinction Valley. The woman said only one sentence before turning and heading towards the next stone gate. Extinction Valley Cliff, the monsters that live there are indeed powerful. But how did he get there? Was he lured in by that human? With his strength, he should have no problem escaping. Tiger-headed demon was utterly baffled and couldn't understand how the ox head, second only to the rat head, could have died here. Call the snake and the rabbit over. Oh, and the dog too. We must get rid of that human as soon as possible. Rat-headed demon spoke coldly, sensing that the unknown human was a threat that needed to be dealt with as soon as possible. Good. After climbing over a rocky cliff and defeating the abyss monster that attacked him, Lin Xiao finally passed through another dangerous area. Is this route really correct? It feels almost identical to some other map. Why not take the main road instead of pointing to this remote, obscure place? Lin Xiao couldn't help but complain. Once you get here, look down and you'll see an easier way to get here. There's no need to climb that damn cliff at all. Besides, looking up at the male eagle circling overhead, he saw that this creature had followed him all the way, eating his way through, and that most of the abyss monsters he had killed had ended up in its belly. But during battles, he doesn't help at all. He just hides in the distance and waits, getting all the loot for nothing. If you try to freeload again next time, I'll just stew you up. Lin Xiao angrily gave the male eagle the middle finger before continuing on his way. Soon, he arrived at the entrance of a cave and saw traces on the ground indicating that a stone door had been opened. The traces are fresh. They've been here before. Could it be that they're looking for the same thing as me? Lin Xiao had a bad feeling, but she still went inside. Chapter 383. Upon entering the stone gate, Lin Xiao remained vigilant. Moreover, the bloodstains on the ground, which had not yet dried, were enough to prove that someone had entered this place not long ago. Judging from these footprints, it seems there were only 3 people, and they went in and then came out again? Lin Xiao analyzed the footprints on the ground. If the other party leaves, there's no need to worry too much about running into them, and it seems their goals are not aligned with yours. But what are they doing here? Could there be some hidden treasure here? Lin Xiao pondered for a moment as she walked inside. There is no danger here, and even if there were, it would have been cleared away long ago. So Lin Xiao is at ease. Soon, he arrived at a room where a stone statue caught his attention. The stone statue was very tall, sitting on a throne. Lin Xiao felt that he was already tall enough, but when he got close to the stone statue, he was only half the height of the statue's instep. This stone statue. Lin Xiao looked at the stone statue in front of him, his brows furrowed, feeling an indescribable sense of unease. He didn't know what kind of feeling it was, but it was just very strange. After staring at him for a moment, Lin Xiao finally asked a question. Why can't I see the shape of the stone statue in front of me? It's not that you can't actually see it, but when you gaze at the stone statue, there's a hazy feeling, as if something is obscuring your vision. It's like looking at a pornographic book that's been censored. I clearly saw it, but it feels like I didn't. More importantly, Lin Xiao could not remember the stone statue in front of her. No matter what she did, she could not remember what the stone statue looked like, its shape, or what it felt like. What a strange thing. Lin Xiao looked away and followed the clues from Netherworld guidance to find a way out. Despite the rock walls everywhere, he was convinced that Netherworld guidance was right and there must be other paths leading here. The path seems to be behind this stone statue, but how do I move it? Lin Xiao's gaze returned to the stone statue. Destroy it directly? No, this stone statue is extremely strange. We don't know what will happen if we destroy it. It's not too late to destroy the stone statue if we really can't find it. Lin Xiao began to grope around on the stone statue, looking for something like a switch. I searched the entire stone statue but couldn't find a similar mechanism. Then, he summoned the ancient mechanical ox and the Queen of Flowers, attempting to move the stone statue in front of him by dragging it. Even after several vines as thick as an adult man were torn off, the stone statue remained completely unmoved. Is it really here? Lin Xiao frowned and confirmed with netherworld guidance several times that there was indeed an intersection there. There's no other way but to blow up this stone statue. After several methods failed, Lin Xiao decided to resort to a simple and direct approach. If he had made multiple preparations beforehand, because the stone statue in front of him was not simple, it was quite strange that it was impossible to remember it. Slime, Snow Maiden Doll, bombard them directly. Death God Knight, Ancient Mechanical Ox, Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox, Goblin Emperor. Be careful of the changes around you and prevent any unforeseen events. Boom! Forbidden Curse was unleashed, hurtling towards the stone statue in front of him. Stone fragments rained down, but the ancient mechanical ox blocked them, preventing the small stones from hitting him at all. Lin Xiao only stopped them after they lost 5 forbidden curses in a row. The smoke dissipated, and the stone statue remained completely undamaged. So sturdy, it can withstand the weight of 5 forbidden curves without any damage. What is it made of? Is it really just ordinary stone? Lin Xiao was shocked. Although he hadn't expected that 5 forbidden curves would shatter the stone statue, the fact that it was completely unharmed was something he hadn't anticipated at all. Just as Lin Xiao was about to continue, the stone statue roared, and then its eyes lit up, its loud voice echoing throughout the cave. Why do those who worship the gods not kneel, paying homage to the gods? Is the stone statue a deity? It survived being bombarded by 5 forbidden curves without damage, so it wouldn't be surprising to call it a divine stone statue. Since you're conscious, please make way for me. I need to pass. Lin Xiao spoke with a hint of respect. Why do you not kneel, you who worship the gods? The stone statue's voice rang out again, louder and more imposing than before. Kneel? I've seen plenty of gods. Who are you, and what gives you the right to make me kneel? Sensing the other party's hostility, Lin Xiao also became ruthless. Gods are high above, beings that countless people look up to, but after experiencing Heavenly Regret Dungeon, he felt that gods were not so great after all. They are simply more powerful than them. Those who are rude shall die. An invisible pressure suddenly descended, startling Lin Xiao. She felt spirit being frantically invaded, and her thoughts were constantly being disturbed. But this situation only lasted a moment before Lin Xiao easily resolved it. That's it? It's true that any Tom, Dick, or Harry can become a god. Lin Xiao scoffed. If it were another type of tool, it might be even more difficult. But spirit attacks are his forte. He's withstood invasions from gods, let alone a spirit attack from a mere stone statue. The stone statue fell silent for a moment before speaking. Someone has stolen my power. Has someone stolen his power? Lin Xiao quickly realized who it was. That means their goals are probably not aligned with mine, which puts me at ease. However, it's not a good thing that these abyssal demons have gained divine power. You've lost your power, so get out of my way. or I'll have no choice but to blast you to pieces." Lin Xiao signaled to Slime and the others to prepare for an attack. Rumble. Whether the stone statue sensed danger or came to a realization, it shifted directly to the right, revealing a spacious passageway in front of Lin Xiao. "You're smart to know what's good for you." Lin Xiao led Death God Knight, Slime, and the others over, but remained wary of the other party, preventing him from making a sudden move. The moment he entered the passage, a violent roar came from behind him. Lin Xiao reacted instantly and was about to make a move when he discovered that the stone statue had inexplicably shattered into pieces. "Ah!" Lin Xiao was stunned for a few seconds, completely unable to process what was going on. Just then, a special crystal bounced to Lin Xiao's feet, and he picked it up. Crystal of the God of the Underworld. A crystallization of the power of the God of the Underworld. Its power has been stripped away. It can only maintain its crystalline form. Oh, was that a stone statue of the God of the Underworld? Lin Xiao learned the other person's identity and tried to recall what they looked like, but found she couldn't remember at all. "I don't know how it suddenly shattered. Maybe it was because its power was taken away. I'll keep this for you for now." Lin Xiao picked up the crystal and then put it in her pocket. Does the crystallization of divine power count as killing a god? Chapter 384. Somewhere in the Abyss. The three archdukes of hell rarely gather together. They are the rulers of the entire abyss, dividing it up among themselves. I received information that she seems to be plotting a secret that could threaten our position. Grand Duke of Fear invited the two men, and once they were all present, he got straight to the point without any beating around the bush. A secret no one knows? She's working for the person behind her, a figure from the old days, yet she still dares to cause trouble. She'll get rid of him sooner or later. Grand Duke Zhou Yuan spoke coldly, his eyes filled with disdain. Today is different from the past. Gods are not something unattainable for them. Given time, they too can reach that level. By the way, I heard your pet is missing. Could it have been kidnapped by that woman? The Grand Duke of Nightmare Demon, clad entirely in black, asked. That's right, but I don't know where that woman hid it. If I find it, I'll definitely demand an explanation from her. Humph. Grand Duke Zhou Yuan did not deny it. Grand Duke of Fear. Although I don't know who's behind her, since she's working for him, her purpose is obvious. She definitely wants to restore her own strength. Grand Duke Zhou Yuan. It's those three gates of the Abyss Great Canyon. He wants to seize the power of those three gates. Ridiculous. Not to mention how difficult it is to open those three gates. Even if you get inside, obtaining the power of the stone statue is easier said than done. Even we can't do it. Going there would only be suicide. Grand Duke of Nightmare Demon mocked the other party's ignorance. Fool. Grand Duke of Fear cursed coldly. What did you say? You want to fight me? You trash who can't even beat a human. Grand Duke of Nightmare Demon immediately flew into a rage. You're asking for it. Grand Duke of Fear, recalling the injury inflicted by Nan Wanxing, flew into a rage. Did you invite us here just to start a fight? Grand Duke Zhou Yuan said coldly. Upon hearing this, the Grand Duke of Fear suppressed his anger and said, I invited you here to stop her. We must not allow her to gain the power of thought. Grand Duke of Nightmare Demon. I've already said that the power of the stone statue cannot be taken away by anyone. If he really has a way, he will send that woman to the Abyss Great Canyon. Once that woman gets the power of the 3 stone statues, then it will be our turn. Don't you understand such a simple principle? Have you been holed up in your doghouse all day and ruined your brain? Seeing that the Grand Duke of Nightmare Demon was about to fly into a rage, Grand Duke Zhou Yuan immediately spoke up. What you say makes sense. Although we know it's impossible, the other party's identity is unknown. If she succeeds, it will be a disaster for us. So your idea is for us to work together and kill her? Grand Duke of Fear. That's right, and this is also a good opportunity to get rid of her. The Abyss will not allow a 4th Archduke of Demons to appear. Grand Duke Zhou Yuan pondered for a moment, then nodded. I agree. The two then looked at the Grand Duke of Nightmare Demon. Humph, I understand the principle of, if the lips are gone, the teeth will be cold. So let's attack together. I don't believe he can withstand the combined efforts of the 3 of us. Grand Duke of Fear. I don't know how far she's gone. Assuming she's really succeeded, let's go to the last ruins gate and wait for her. Upon entering the tunnel, Lin Xiao followed the signs and kept moving forward, leaving only Death God Knight by her side, mainly because the place was too crowded with so many summoned beasts. The tunnel was long and I didn't know where it led. Although there was no abyss monster here, there were some strange things. For example, will-o'-the-wisps. It should be will-o'-the-wisp, a creature shaped like a bluish flame. What else could it be but will-o'-the-wisp? This thing is like a fly, always hovering around you. You can't swat it or get rid of it, and it doesn't even cause any harm. It only serves to annoy you. Suddenly, Lin Xiao stopped in her tracks, and Death God Knight cast an inquiring glance at her. Back to normal. Lin Xiao felt her body recovering and found that her condition was much better than when she first obtained the Chaos God body. And over here. Wow, a little dwarf. So aloof. He doesn't even acknowledge people when they talk to him. He might be a bad guy. No, we're the bad guys. He must be too. Everyone carries a skeleton around. Hearing the chattering sounds around him, Lin Xiao paused for a few seconds, trying to find the direction of the sound. He quickly locked onto it, the will-o'-the-wisps swirling around him. This thing can talk? It happened very suddenly. He spoke. Couldn't he have heard us at first? No. She's definitely just pretending to be aloof. Yes, I think so. Lin Xiao confirmed that the sound came from the will-o'-the-wisp beside her. Judging from their tone, it seems they were talking to me the whole time, but I don't know why I didn't hear them until now. Is it because my body has fully recovered that I can hear? However, these will-o'-the-wisps did not seem to have any malicious intent. What are you? Why are you here? Lin Xiao asked. You're the one who's the real thing. Yes, we are not things, we are calamity spirits. We've always been here. You're the one who ran in. Calamus spirit? Lin Xiao asked again. What's up ahead? There is a very tall stone statue. You're not even as tall as the other person's toes, you little dwarf. Are you going there? You probably can't get in. Calamity spirits spoke one line at a time, like little children surrounding you, calling out incessantly. Lin Xiao filtered out the useless information and asked, Why can't I get in? You came from the gate of the underworld, and you want to enter the gate of calamity? You cannot do so. Yes, you've already got the gate of the underworld. So forget about the gate of calamity. The gate of hell. Lin Xiao naturally knew what this meant, because the self-destructing stone statue was the stone statue of the god of the underworld. Following this logic, then the stone statue inside the gate is the stone statue of the god of calamity? I entered this place by accident, and I arrived too late. The things from Netherworld Gate had already been taken away. Lin Xiao told a small lie, but it wasn't exactly a small lie, since someone had indeed arrived here before him and taken away the power of the stone statue. Yeah, but there's a kind of warmth about you. Yes, they are somewhat similar to us, but also somewhat different. Lin Xiao chatted with the children as he walked forward, and soon he saw an ancient stone gate. Lin Xiao didn't push the door open directly, but instead confirmed the direction of Netherworld guidance, which required passing through this area. How strange! Why would we need to cross this road? Lin Xiao was puzzled, but for now, she needed to find the equivalent flower seed first. The stone gate wasn't as difficult to push as I had imagined. It opened easily with a little force. Oh, you're back. Yes. It's been a long time since I've been back. Great. Let's go in and take a look. As if they were sending a child home, the evil spirits flew straight inside. Seeing how happy they were, Lin Xiao did not let her guard down and carefully went inside. Having experienced the Pluto god statue, the Calamity Stone statue is unlikely to be so simple. Soon, Lin Xiao arrived at a spacious cave and saw a huge stone statue sitting on a stone seat. As the Calamity Spirit said, he was not even as tall as the finger of this stone statue. It's a stone statue of a god of calamity. Chapter 385. Upon entering the stone statue, Lin Xiao felt a sense of disorientation. The rock ceiling began to crumble. Scorching lava gushed from the ground, and seawater, seemingly from nowhere, poured in. Lin Xiao's expression changed drastically as she tried to struggle, but she was quickly submerged by the seawater. He immediately summoned the nine-tailed celestial fox and rode on it, thus escaping being swallowed by the sea. But soon, thunder roared in the sky, and bolts of lightning struck down. Then a meteorite fell from the sky and crashed straight down on Lin Xiao. What the heck? Is this the power of the stone statue? Looking at the natural disasters appearing around him, Lin Xiao felt they were incredibly real, but he was certain they were just an illusion. A moment later, the natural disaster disappeared, and he saw himself lying in a hospital bed, suffering from incurable diseases, and could only watch helplessly as his life slowly slipped away. Suddenly, Lin Xiao opened her eyes and found herself standing in front of the stone statue again. There were no natural disasters, no diseases, and I was completely unharmed. It was so real. I thought I was dead for a moment. Lin Xiao broke out in a cold sweat. Huh? He's alive again. Yes. Does he possess the divine art of resurrection? Impossible, right? If someone is killed by the power of air, can they be resurrected by a resurrection beast? No way. But he really came back to life. Could it be the time resurrection spell? That's even more impossible. Time is a taboo subject. No one can use it. Watching the will-o'-the-wisps leave and then return, chattering in my ears, I felt as if I were really dead from their words. Yet for some reason I had come back to life. Lin Xiao examined the elemental fusion set and discovered that the resurrection effect had already been used. In addition to using up the resurrection effect, I also used up the time-based skill that resets skill cooldowns. I really died, but I came back to life because of the effects of the elemental fusion set. Lin Xiao felt a chill run down her spine. She had been killed just by glancing at the stone statue, and she was unable to resist. It was terrifying. Not daring to approach Lin Xiao any further, They retreated to the entrance into the cave to prevent further calamity from befalling them. He beckoned to the calamity spirits, and seeing them approach, he asked directly, "How can I obtain the power of the calamity god's stone statue? This power can be taken away," and that group took away the power of the famous stone statue. Furthermore, from the conversation among the calamity spirits, it was learned that besides seizing it, there must be other ways to obtain this power. "I don't know. It seems like no one has ever succeeded. Yes, a long time ago, there was a big, ugly guy dressed in black cloth who came here, but he didn't get it either. Yes, he's older than you, and seems to be even more capable." Lin Xiao ignored their chatter. It seemed she would have to figure out a solution herself. Simply getting close to the stone statue will subject you to the power of calamity. By the way, I used Forbidden Curse to bombard the Pluto god statue a few times before, and it was activated. Could this method also be used on the calamity god stone statue? Lin Xiao thought about it for a long time and felt that this method was worth a try. However, I need to stay far away since the power of the Pluto god statue had already been taken away back then, while the power of the Calamity Stone statue is still there now, so I might provoke a counterattack from them. Just as Lin Xiao was about to make his move, he heard footsteps not far away. He tensed up and immediately realized who it was. "Stop talking. Someone's coming." Lin Xiao said something to the still chattering calamity spirit. The calamity spirits also heard the noise. Seeing how nervous Lin Xiao looked, they obediently hid on his shoulder, cautiously peeking out their little heads to see who it was. They must have brains, because he saw that the calamity spirit's shape was slightly crooked. "Ugh! Ah! No, don't die like this! No!" A roar came from above, and although Lin Xiao knew what had happened, she didn't dare to look. Since the other party was able to seize the power of the people's god stone statue, they must be extraordinary. If one were to glance at it out of curiosity, it might lead to a predicament from which there is no escape. The woman stood before the stone statue, her eyes reflecting countless natural disasters. Yet she remained unmoved, allowing all the calamities to converge upon her, followed by a series of plagues and curses that befell her. But she seemed unaffected. The phenomena of the plague and the curse never manifested in her. Moments later, the natural disasters vanished, and the calamities and plague disappeared without a trace. Everything merged into a bead and fell, making a crisp thump sound in the silent cave. Rat-headed demon gasped for breath. Cold sweat had already broken out on his back. Recalling everything he had just experienced, he felt like he had survived a catastrophe. Looking at the tiger head beside him, he found that it was dead, its expression forever frozen in that moment of terror. Dead! Dead! Rat-headed demon was horrified. A mere illusion could kill with a tiger's head. What power that was! The woman picked up the bead from the ground, and all the calamities gathered in one bead. "They're gone." The woman spoke indifferently, completely ignoring the already dead tiger-headed demon, as if it were nothing more than an ant in her eyes. As the footsteps faded into the distance until they disappeared completely, Lin Xiao didn't come out immediately but waited a little longer. Calamity Spirit, who was perched on his shoulder, didn't finish speaking either, communicating with his eyes and body language until Lin Xiao spoke. "What did you see?" It was... Lin Xiao paused for a moment. "Was it a woman?" "Yes, how did you know?" "Do you have eyes in the back of your head?" "How did you know?" It was the last thing I heard that made it out. I never expected to see her here, and to meet her again in this way. It's not the right time yet, Lin Xiao sighed inwardly. Wow, that woman is amazing. She actually absorbed all of Ug's power. How did he do that? That's so strange. That's right, that's right. Several calamity spirits chattered incessantly, but Lin Xiao ignored them and walked towards the stone statue. This time, he was no longer affected and stood calmly in front of the stone statue. He glanced at the dead tiger-headed demon, then put his body away. Without pondering why she was there or why she was collecting the power of these gods, Lin Xiao asked the calamity spirit, "Can you move this stone statue?" "No, you can't. We're too small to have that much strength." "Yes, that's right." Lin Xiao, "Then move aside. I'm going to smash it." He planned to try destroying the statue of the god of the underworld. "No need, we can help you." "That's right, although it can't be moved, it's still very easy to destroy." Calamity Spirit flew to the stone statue, then did something, and the stone statue suddenly collapsed backward. Then they were seen flying back together, carrying a crystal. "Look, this is the corpse of Erd." Chapter 386. The stone statue of the god of calamity shattered, and Lin Xiao easily walked out of there. Behind the stone statue was not a long passage, but directly to the other side of Abyss Great Canyon. Lin Xiao was very curious. The stone statue of the god of calamity was broken, so why were these little things still here? Oh, this is the outside world? It's so ugly. Hey, skull trees grow on this tree too. Are they like this all around here? Definitely. Didn't you see he was carrying a big one too? That makes sense. After arriving in the outside world, the calamity spirits found everything fascinating and chattered incessantly, like children on a spring outing. Seeing the skeletons of different shapes, he leaned closer to examine them closely, then leaned back to Death God Knight for comparison and patted him on the shoulder, saying, "You're still better looking." After walking for a while, Lin Xiao couldn't help but ask, "You were born from the stone statue of the god of calamity, right? Why are you still here after the stone statue was destroyed?" "Huh? I don't know. We have also forgotten where we came from." Yes, just like it appeared out of nowhere. Hearing this, Lin Xiao didn't continue the topic and changed the subject. "Why are the Pluto god statue and the Calamity god stone statue here? Did they come here before?" He sensed that these two deities did not belong to the temple's forces, and might even be hostile forces. "I don't know, do you know?" "I don't know either, but there seem to have been 9 such stone statues, and now there are only 3 left." "Wrong, there's only 1 left now. Weren't the other 2 already broken? Are there 9 such stone statues? There were once 9 gods in this abyss." Lin Xiao interrupted their argument. "The power of the stone statue was stolen by that woman just now?" "No, it was taken away a long time ago. Not all of them were taken away. One of them ran away on its own." Yes, it's a very big dragon." "Dragon?" Lin Xiao immediately realized who it was. "You mean evil dragon? Is it an evil dragon?" One calamity spirit asked another calamity spirit. "It should be evil dragon, right? Isn't the dragon ridden by the evil god called Evil Dragon?" "Yes, that's right. It's called Evil Dragon." Calamity Spirit, having received the answer, replied to Lin Xiao with great certainty. Lin Xiao fell into deep thought, feeling that the timing seemed off. Evil God Alter existed among humans long ago, but Evil Dragon appeared later, having unintentionally gained the power of the evil god, and thus becoming Evil Dragon. Unintentionally, crystallized within the stone statue of an evil god. If it were eaten, becoming an evil dragon would be plausible. Was the power of the other 4 stone statues taken by the 4 archdukes of demons from the abyss? Lin Xiao asked. That's his feeling, but if you calculate it that way, there's still 1 stone statue left. Archduke of demons? I don't know. I don't recognize him. We just came out. How would we know so much? That's right, that's right. Calamity Spirit protested, feeling that Lin Xiao was asking too many questions. Just then, a blur streaked across the sky at an incredibly fast speed, almost impossible to catch with the naked eye. But Lin Xiao noticed it immediately. The moment Lin Xiao noticed, the afterimage swiftly attacked, a fierce strike coming straight at her. She couldn't see what weapon the opponent was using, but could only sense a sharp intent. Clang! The scythe of the death god blocked the opponent's attack. At this moment, Lin Xiao also saw the other party's appearance clearly. A rabbit head. She already noticed me? Or is this the pursuers from before? Lin Xiao wasn't sure, but he leaned more towards the latter, because after killing the ox-head demon, he had never encountered another abyssal demon. He felt that the other side couldn't possibly send only 1 person. These are the pursuers who followed. The rabbit-headed demon was not surprised to see its attack blocked, because it was just a feint. Sha! Lin Xiao only heard the sound, and before she could react, she felt a pain in her calf, as if she had been bitten by something. Looking down, she saw a snake bite wound on her calf, with black fluid flowing out of the wound. Serpent-headed demon. Even though she couldn't see the other person, Lin Xiao already knew who it was. He quickly took out the recovery medicine to treat the condition. There is no antidote for my poison. The serpent-headed demon gradually took shape, its arms transforming into 2 venomous snakes with bare fangs, their dark green venom dripping onto the ground with a sizzling sound. The snake-headed demon had a sinister smile on its lips, and its eyes were terrifying, giving the impression that once you were targeted, you could never escape. No antidote? You're just ignorant. Lin Xiao spoke calmly, and the originally blackened and swollen wound quickly healed, and the bleeding gradually stopped. Remy's recovery medicine is quite effective. It's no match for mere toxins. Seeing that his poison had truly been cured, the snake-handed demon's eyes darkened, revealing a sinister glint. How did you find me? I've run all the way here. How did you manage to catch up with me? Lin Xiao asked. He was certain that the rabbit-headed demon and the snake-headed demon had been following him all along. If they were, they would have already passed through the cave. So he was very curious about how the 2 of them had caught up with him. Could it be a prediction made in advance? We found the body of the ox-head demon. Based on the scent left on the body, once the rabbit finds your scent, it can easily track your movements and find you no matter where you run. The snake-headed demon spoke coldly. In his eyes, Lin Xiao was already a dead man. Why all the nonsense? Kill him. The rabbit-headed demon pushed aside Death God Knight's scythe and then launched a surprise attack on his heart. Simply stall Death God Knight, then let the snake head kill Lin Xiao, and you can complete this mission. Do you have any last words? The serpent-headed demon spread its arms, and the arm, which had originally transformed into a single venomous snake, instantly split into countless parts. The venomous snake fell to the ground and crawled towards Lin Xiao. Lin Xiao, last words? Shouldn't I be asking you that? I can even take down the ox-head demon, so you guys should be weaker than him, right? Ha ha ha, you think you can take down the Minotaur? Don't think I don't know you lured him to the forbidden area of the canyon. used the monsters there to severely injure him, and then ambushed him. With your strength, I alone could easily take you down. The cave of 10,000 snakes. Countless venomous snakes surged toward Lin Xiao like a tide, but Lin Xiao only glanced at them before summoning the Snow Maiden doll. Snow Maiden doll appeared as if it possessed its own domain, and the surroundings quickly froze, freezing any venomous snakes that approached into icicles. What? He also has such a summoned beast. The snake head was startled, but he reacted very quickly. He clapped his hands, and the venomous snake that had been frozen into an ice shard instantly recovered. It then merged into a giant snake and fiercely devoured Lin Xiao. Become fertilizer for my pets. Looking at the abyss-like gaping maw, Lin Xiao smiled faintly. I like these big appetite creatures the most. Snow Maiden doll immediately releases Forbidden Curse. Lin Xiao felt it wasn't enough, so he summoned Lime again and threw several Forbidden Curse shots into the giant snake's mouth. Boom! The giant snake was instantly blasted into pieces, followed by a rain of blood. This time, Lin Xiao was not drenched in the bloody rain. Snow Maiden doll had built an ice wall above her head beforehand, blocking it all out. What? The snake-headed demon's expression changed. He never expected that Lin Xiao would destroy his giant snake so easily. The rabbit-headed demon confronting Death God Knight was also shocked. Was this Death God Knight not his strongest summoned beast? It's a pity I can only use Forbidden Curse secretly. Otherwise, I could have dealt with you much faster. The Goblin Emperor and Spider Prince were summoned and launched an attack under Lin Xiao's command.